It's your turn to clean the bathroom again, and you're fearing the worst. What hellacious fate awaits you this time? The hair-clogged drain? The toothpaste explosion? Or is it the mysterious ceiling stain? Well, whatever it is, we got 6 tips to take care of it. Now, if you're all about natural cleaning methods, brew a really strong batch of black tea. Talking 3 bags in an 8-ounce glass. You're gonna use it to clean the glass or mirror in your bathroom. Transfer the tea into a spray bottle, and instead of using a paper towel, try newspaper. Apply a thin coat of black tea, and put the newspaper to work on your dirtiest mirror in the house. For best results, 2 or more applications may be necessary, but look at that difference. No one likes scrubbing the shower, but it's gotta be done. It's probably long overdue. If you want to tackle that soap scum and nasty grime, get yourself a dish wand and fill it with half vinegar and half liquid soap. It's quick and easy, and can even be accomplished while showering. Rub-a-dub-dub. If you're looking to remove those hard water stains from your fixtures, all you're gonna need is a lemon and some elbow grease. The acid in the lemon breaks down the hard water, and it's easy on your hands, so there's no harsh chemicals needed. If you've got tougher stains, then you can try wrapping washcloths around the affected area and soaking them with distilled white vinegar. You're gonna let this sit for about 30 minutes before you can remove the rags. But here's a pro tip. You can get an old toothbrush and get to the hard-to-reach spaces as well. Simply rinse off the fixture when you're done, and watch it shine like new. Is your soap dispenser or toothbrush holder looking pretty nasty? It's one of the most neglected items in our bathroom. Here's a quick trick most people don't even consider. Try tossing it in your dishwasher next time you do a load. It'll do all the hard work for you. You'd be mighty surprised at the amount of grime that builds up. You won't have to scrub any soap scum or dried toothpaste off anything. Next time you clean your toilet, try using vinegar. It's an eco-friendly method that kills bacteria, germs, mold, and lime deposits. Start by giving your toilet an upper decker and pouring a bunch of vinegar into the top bowl. Now go ahead and move to the rim of the toilet and clean that with vinegar as well. Next, soak some toilet paper up with vinegar and stuff it on the inside rim of the toilet and allow it to sit for several minutes while you pour vinegar into the bowl and clean with your trusty bowl scrubber. Then remove the toilet paper and scrub the inside of the rim with an old toothbrush before finally flushing. That toilet's so clean you could eat off of it. One of the most common sources of nastiness and smells in the bathroom is your toilet brush, but it goes unnoticed. The best way to deal with this is to pour some sort of all-purpose cleaner at the bottom of the holder. We're talking your Pine Sols, your bleaches, stuff like that. Just make sure to top it off every now and then to keep your brush nice and sparkly clean. Now here's a little bonus for those of you who might happen to have a washer and dryer in your bathroom. Did you know that clogged dryer vents cause thousands of house fires each year? But it's one of those things that can be easily avoided. So while you're doing your bathroom cleaning duty, bust out the vacuum and get yourself a paper towel roll. Hook it to your vacuum hose and go to town, getting all those hard-to-reach places. This will really extend the vacuum's sucking power quite a bit, and you can get rid of all that extra lint that might one day cause a fire. We hope these tips can help contribute to you having a fantastically clean and sparkly bathroom. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Hello, I'm Simon Whistler. You're watching the Today I Found Our YouTube channel, and in the video today we're looking at how dry cleaners clean clothing. And just before we get started, I will say that this video is brought to you by Squarespace. You can go to squarespace.com/brainfood to get 10% off your first order. What happens to clothes after being dropped off at the dry cleaners is a mystery to most. We know that our clothes come back a whole lot cleaner than when we dropped them off, but the big question is, how? And in addition to that, who came up with the bright idea of cleaning clothes without water? Now, the earliest records of professional dry cleaning go all the way back to the ancient Romans. For instance, dry cleaning shops were discovered in the ruins of Pompeii, a Roman city buried by the eruption of Mount Vesuvius in 79 AD. Those cleaners, known as fullers, used a type of clay known as fuller's earth, along with lye and ammonia, derived from urine, in order to remove stains such as dirt and sweat from clothing. That process proved pretty effective for any fabric too delicate for normal washing, or any stains that refused to budge. In fact, the industry was so prominent that there were taxes on collecting urine. Fullers generally used animal urine and would also maintain urine collecting pots at public bathrooms. As for more modern methods, the biggest revolution in dry cleaning came about in the 19th century. Traditionally, Jean-Baptiste Joly of France is generally named the father of modern dry cleaning. Legend has it that in 1825 a careless maid knocked over a lamp and spilled turpentine on a dirty tablecloth. Joly noticed that once the turpentine had dried, the stains that had marred the fabric were gone. He conducted an experiment where he bathed the entire tablecloth in a bathtub filled with turpentine and found that it came clean once it dried. Whether a maid having an accident really had anything to do with it or not, Joly used this method when he opened the often claimed first modern dry cleaning shop, Tinteria Joly Bellin in Paris. However, a patent for a process called dry scouring was filed in the US Patent Office in 1821, 4 years before Joly's discovery. A man by the name of Thomas Jennings was a clothier and a tailor in New York, and soon the first black person to be granted a patent in the United States. Previous to this, it was ruled that slave owners were the rightful owner of any inventions made by their slaves, and they could then patent these inventions under their own names. Jennings, however, was a free man. So while working as a clothier, he, like so many others in his profession, was familiar with the age-old customer complaint that they could not clean their more delicate clothes once they'd become stained because the fabric wouldn't hold up to the traditional washing and scrubbing. Jennings thus began experimenting with different cleaning solutions and processes. Before discovering the process he named dry scouring. His method was a hit and not only made him extremely wealthy, but allowed him to buy his wife and children out of slavery, as well as fund numerous abolitionist efforts. As for the method he used, well, unfortunately this has been lost to history as his patent was destroyed in a fire in 1836. What we do know is that after Jennings, other dry cleaners during the 19th century used things like turpentine, benzene, kerosene, gasoline, and petrol as solvents in the process of dry cleaning clothes. These solvents had the side effect of making dry cleaning a rather dangerous business. Turpentine even caused clothes to smell after being cleaned, and benzene could be toxic to dry cleaners or customers if left on the clothes. Thus, all of these solvents posed the bigger problem of being highly flammable. The danger of clothes and even the building catching fire was so great that most cities refuse to allow dry cleaning to occur in the business districts. In the United Kingdom, for example, dry cleaners had smaller satellite stores in the city where they took in customers' clothes, and then those clothes were transported to a factory outside of the city limits where the dry cleaning actually took place. The major risk of clothes and buildings catching on fire because of the flammable solvents led to dry cleaners searching for a safer alternative. Chlorinated solvents gained popularity in the early 20th century, quickly leaving the flammable solvents in the dust. They removed stains just as well as petroleum-based cleaners without the risk of causing the clothes or factories to catch fire. That also meant dry cleaners could move their cleaning facilities back into cities and eliminated the need to transport clothes back and forth between two locations. A chlorine-based solvent with the chemical name tetrachloroethylene, or sometimes called perchloroethylene, became the go-to solvent for dry cleaners in the 1930s. Originally discovered in 1821 by Michael Faraday, perc could not only be used in a relatively compact dry cleaning machine, but also did a better job of cleaning than the other solvents of the day. It's still actually the chemical of choice for most dry cleaners today. While perc is considered much safer than solvents used by dry cleaners of the past, the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, in the United States is working to phase the solvent out of the industry. The EPA claims that while wearing clothes treated with perc does not appear to be dangerous, perc can be dangerous if accidentally released into the environment, as it's toxic to plants and animals. Additionally, the EPA also notes that sustained exposure to perc, such as by workers in the industry, can cause health issues with the nervous system, including potentially drastically increasing the chances of developing Parkinson's disease. There are also studies done by the EPA that indicate perc may be a carcinogen. The International Agency for Research on Cancer also classifies the chemical as a Group 2A carcinogen, meaning, in their opinion, it's probably carcinogenic. So how exactly is this chemical used to dry clean clothes? So the process of dry cleaning fabric can vary between dry cleaning companies, however the general method is as so. Before placing the clothing item in the machines, workers pre-treat stains by hand, as well as remove any materials that aren't suitable for dry cleaning. For instance, buttons that are made of materials that may dissolve in perc are removed. The machine then works in a similar fashion to a normal in-home washing machine by agitating the garments and adding the solvent as it goes. It cycles the solution through the machine and a filter as the clothing is agitated. Temperature is also typically controlled at around 86 degrees Fahrenheit or 30 degrees Celsius. Next, the garments are either dried in the same machine or workers move them to a separate machine. During the drying cycle, the temperature is raised to about 140 degrees Fahrenheit or 60 degrees Celsius, which helps the chemicals evaporate off the clothes faster while still being low enough not to damage the clothing. In the end, approximately 99.9% of the chemicals used are removed from the dry cleaned item and recycled for use again in cleaning. Once the clothes are dry, workers press the clothes, potentially stitch back on any item that had to be taken off, and put the clothing into plastic bags ready for customer pickup. So as I said at the top of the video, this one is brought to you by Squarespace. Look, Squarespace it's basically a website development site that makes it incredibly easy for you to make a website. Now, I am not a super technical person. I've made a few websites in my time though, and before I did this sponsor spot, I wanted to come up with a few common issues that I've had while building websites in the past. I actually had to think about these and I wrote them down. So number one seems like the most simple problem, but it's like you're making a website and then at the top there's just, too much white space. And for the life of me, I'm not going to mention what website building tool I was using because that's not how you're supposed to do ads, but I couldn't get rid of that white space at the top and I actually had to hire someone because I know nothing about coding to get rid of that white space. Also, sample sites, they look awesome. Like I'm browsing through, again, not mentioning the place, and it's like, oh, look at all these beautiful sites. And then I buy one and I put it on my site and it ends up looking like, well, a piece of... And then the third thing was, why do Russian hackers love my site so much? I don't know. People just kept trying to break in. No idea why. Oh, and then the fourth thing, so all of this stuff is just awesome, obviously, and then it just ends up getting more and more expensive and just generally worse. So I came up with those four things in like 2 minutes, and there are many, many more that just don't enter my mind right now, but I thought four was enough, and I realized with this ad, I should probably be talking about why Squarespace is really good rather than other things not so great. Well, I was thinking about my problems, and one that really stuck out was the fact that it just gets worse and more expensive as you go forward. I don't know what it is with website hosts, but the support just generally tends to suck. Squarespace has 24/7 365 support. I actually tested this out in a previous video where I went onto their site, came up with like a fake problem, and just logged in and was like, hey, can you help me? And they were instantly there, and they were just ready to help me out. It was awesome. And another problem, the Russians breaking into my site, I'm not joking about that. Well, with Squarespace, you don't have to worry about this because they keep your site up to date for you, and that's why my site got broken into because I didn't update it because I didn't know how. And then the issue of making a website that looks good. Well, with Squarespace, you see the beautiful designs, and then there's this really easy builder to put it together, and then you actually end up with a beautiful design rather than my previous issue of, wow, it looks so great, and then I make it, and then it sucks. So with Squarespace, I've been through the process, and it's ridiculously easy. It's just the best way to make a website. Well, basically, if you need a site for a YouTube channel, for your business, or just for your awesome self, well, you should definitely do it with Squarespace. It's not expensive, and you can get 10% off if you go to squarespace.com/brainfood. Apparently, I've got to spell that out. Squarespace.com/BRAINFOOD. I guess if you don't know how to spell brain or food, that can help, but squarespace.com/brainfood. You get 10% off. Look, it's just a better way to do it. Don't look around, just go to that link. It helps us out as well if you follow the link, and just build yourself a website. It's ridiculously easy. A link in the description below, and thanks to Squarespace for sponsoring, and thank you guys for watching.